Just ready and waiting. Prosic. He's toying with Ortiz. He's in. He goes in for everything. Ortiz, give me that damn agent.
And then Ronaldo! What a goal by Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational!
IEM Rio is about to hit the playoffs, and we have 6 teams remaining, and a couple of surprising results all over the place. We see teams that are on the major that are not yet that qualify for the major, but they're not going to be in the playoffs here, like Fnatic, FaZe, OG, obviously as well. So overall, it's something that we might have expected because like simply the energy draining RMR that was happening for most of these teams, and then coming off to the very last day of the RMR, flying into Rio, which is like a very long flight, and playing one day but the very next day. So it's just a super draining, and I think that some of the results are kind of expected if you think about it a little bit more. Now we have 6 teams remaining in the playoffs. Obviously, the quarterfinals, there's Heroic, Furia, Vitality, and Big. And in the semifinals, in the two sides of the bracket, we have 2 CIS teams, Cloud9 and Navi, the teams to kind of play the best CS in Rio. So before we head into the actual analyzing of the matches and predicting who is going to be getting it all the way and who's going to be winning the whole thing, and maybe not possibly, but for sure getting that first notch on the new Intel Grand Slam circuit, we need to remind you guys that 1xBet is an official partner of this channel and of this show. And if you go there and register with the code 1xKassad or Kassad1x, you get up to €130 bonus directly from me. So make sure you check it out. There is a lot of options there. So just make sure you use the code once you actually register. So basically, Heroic against Furia and Vitality against Big, those are the 2 first quarterfinals. Now, what do you say about Heroic so far? They had a pretty convincing run at the RMR qualifier as the Legends without any single problems. They just did it like their job there, and moved on to the next challenge, which is Rio. And here they had a little bit of a problem simply because I think they lost to Big in the opener or the match after that, and they had to play with Exist because Yabi wasn't playing so well, so they dropped the map against Mongols. But when they needed the most, they just delivered against NIP. It was just a one-way traffic all the way, and unlucky for them. Like if they were playing against any other team out of these 5, I would say that Heroic would be the favorite, and I think the odds show that they are the favorite at 1.5 or something. But overall, now they're facing Furia in the arena in the quarterfinals. The arena will be filled out probably. I remember Rio in Rio Major, and it was like super crazy there when the Furia was playing against Navi in the quarterfinals, so the Major in the semis later on. But overall, I think that that Heroic is going to be suffering, at least here. I don't think they should be put as favorites here, even though they play the best CS probably right now out of all teams in the circuit. So overall, I do think that on paper they should be favorites, but we have to think about like other circumstances. They did play the RMR, and they hit the travel, and there is a jet lag, and Yabi was sick. I don't know if they're going to practice and all these things. And obviously the fact that they're playing in the arena is not going to help at all without in front of the full Brazilian crowd cheering them on. So there is absolutely value for Furia to win, and I think I'm going to go for it. I do think that Furia is going to win this match. It most likely is going to be 2-1 because I saw Furia play against FaZe. They played really well against Cloud9. They had their chances yesterday, and I don't think it would be undeserved if they actually beat Cloud9 and get to that semis, but they had a couple of mistakes. I do think they're going to be playing a lot better in front of their home crowd, and I do think they're going to be beating Heroic. So, and they will probably set up another a Rio rematch against Navi in front of the crowd, and that's a whole another story. But we have the second quarterfinal on the same day. That's tomorrow, 5:00. That's actually the first quarterfinal because it's been played a little bit earlier between Vitality and Big. Now, Big is a team that kind of failed. Well, not kind of, but they did fail on the RMRs miserably. They didn't qualify for the major. It was devastating for them, but they came with the new vibe into this event. Hyped is very, very good right now. I think we all kind of underestimated them a little bit. and he kind of proved to be very, very good addition, and he is delivering a lot of numbers. And of course, they're playing a lot of good CS. They beat Heroic. They're in the quarterfinals. They deserve to be in the quarterfinals, and they're playing against Vitality. Now, Vitality eliminated FaZe, eliminated OG. The playoffs for them pretty much started like on that game against FaZe, and they did it in a convincing fashion in a way, at least against FaZe. The FaZe was just completely out of the tournament. They seemed flat, and the guys from Vitality, they played well. But in the yesterday's game against OG, they struggled on Mirage, which is going to be a problem against Big as well, I think. And I do think we might see another upset here. The odds are set for Vitality to be a massive favorites here. I don't think that's a very accurate, a very accurate odds in general, and I do think Big has a chance simply because I don't really trust Vitality right now in their T sides. I do think if they don't get to play Nuke, which they don't often pick, I don't think they will struggle probably on most other maps simply because they're also drained out. The T side is not very well executed. Their playbook must be running low right now. They have to go for a boot camp after this event and prepare for the major, maybe replenish their strats, replenish their game a little bit more, getting ready for the major. So after the RMR and all these things, I feel like that the whole game would be a little bit like thin right now and kind of drained out. So I do believe that Big has a decent chance, and I think I'm going to go for the underdog win here. I think Big can actually surprise Vitality and win this game, because at least I would probably go with over 2.5 maps, which will 2-1-1-2, doesn't really matter. But overall, I do believe that this might be a surprise, and this might be a Furia win too, which leads us to semifinals there, and that's Navi against Furia, I believe. Now that's a rematch. I honestly think that Furia can beat Navi there. Navi did play well. If we go to their team and we go to the matches, we can see that they beat 2-0 Big yesterday. It was a little touch and go in the first map. They did beat NIP and they did beat Mongols. It's just a straight up almost domination in the group stage and getting ready to the semis. And I think they're playing well. They qualify as legends to the major. They're in a good form right now. And playing against Fury is another story. They did play them in Rio, and Furia took that win. And I think it's going to happen the same here. I do see Furia being in the final here, and I do think they're going to beat Navi in the semis simply because there is a lot of pressure. Navi is going to be the team that Simple is going to perform. Electronic is going to perform. Like, these players are going to do well. I'm not sure about NPL and the rest of the guys. I think they might be struggling against the full crowd in Rio. That's Saturday night. That's going to be packed. That's not going to be a single freaking seat available in the arena. I think it's going to be fully sold out, and I do think Furia will use that as their advantage to get into the finals. The maps are iffy for both teams. Obviously Furia cannot go and pick Vertigo, and Navi can't actually. Navi is playing Navi is not playing Vertigo, and Furia is playing not playing Anubis, I believe. So I think that it must end up into some sort of a nuke, and Navi might go for nuke, and we'll see what Furia goes for. It's a maybe probably ancient or something like that. But overall, I do believe that Furia has a advantage in that map simply because of the crowd and the whole momentum they can gain on that one. And I do believe Navi is going to be the favorite on this one. So the odds might be in favor of Furia, like to get an upset. So Furia in the final there, and then we would have the Cloud9 against Big. Now Cloud, in any case, and I think it's going to happen in Saturday too, that Cloud9 is going to face Big, and I do believe Cloud9 is going to run away with the victory there. Historically, if you look at the matchups of these two teams, let's see if we can find something. Match against Big, yeah. So basically, when these two teams play, it's very, very one-sided. You can see that, they will core players then, but that's Cloud9 beating them in Pro League, beating them in Dallas. The Rubet Cup was the only one that went for Big, and then in every kind of important game, Cloud9 wins that, and I think it's going to happen the same. I don't think they're going to be standing like they can't really resist from the pressure from Exile. Shiro is going to be a first semifinal for a player like Hyped, and it's not going to be the easy. Crimbo was playing well, but I don't think it's going to repeat in the semis. I think Cloud9 takes this one and be set up for a final for between. Let me see if I can find this. So Basically, we're going to be having a final between Cloud9 and Furia. Now, that's a very interesting final, in my opinion. I think both teams have something to kind of look for in that final besides the title. Cloud9 didn't qualify for the major. They need some sort of a redemption. They need to win this title. For them, it's going to mean a lot to start off the new Grand Slam chapter and, kind of maybe soften the blow from the fact that they didn't qualify for the major, and maybe that kind of settles the rest of settles the problems they have right now and the issues they have been facing in the past few months. And Fury on the other side, obviously a final in front of their own crowd, winning a title there, title that is long time waiting for them. They haven't won anything in God knows how long, anything meaningful. They're always in the playoffs or something like that, but they never deliver any titles. So this is the perfect chance for them to actually go for it. Now the map pool could be interesting. It says it's a best of 3, but I'm not really sure if it's a best of 3. Usually IEMs are best of 5, but I do believe it's going to be best of 5. So my maps can be quite interesting there. I do believe in the long run, if it goes to 4 or 5 maps, Cloud9 might have the advantage. But in like 5 maps, Cloud9 would have the advantage. But it's like 3 or 4 maps, I think Furia can take it. So I would probably lean towards Furia here, simply again because it's Brazil, it's the crowd, it's everything that's happening, and I do believe that Cloud9 would crumble in front of the crowd in Brazil, because obviously they are known for, like, let's say, choking like these big games all the time, and playing well in the group stage and like this like studio environment games and everything that's going on. But like I said, Shiro and Exile, especially Shiro, playing amazingly. Kassad on the other side playing so good as well. Overall, if I had to pick up a winner in this final, this is straight up 50-50. If I have to pick the winner in this final, it would definitely be Furia in 4 maps, like 3-1. And I do think they will most likely win this event. Now, everything can just go to shit if Heroic just beats them. But the thing is, like, I have to like kind of lean towards them in this one, simply because it's Brazil. If it's any other event or any other like country or anything else, if it's not the arena, I would go 100% Heroic. I would put my money on them, on even probably 2-0. But right now I have to lean towards Furia in this game and in this bracket as well, considering all the other factors. The fact that Cloud9 didn't qualify for the major, Vitality is drained, Navi is drained as well, from all the events they're playing, and Furia did qualify for the legend stage as well from the North American, so the trip was shorter than the other teams, and I do believe they have the most chances of coming out of this bracket as champions. So kind of that would be like my prediction for the whole bracket. Now I have to go to let's go to the odds for the first 2 quarterfinals if we actually can. See if it's gonna load in. Okay, so here we are. So let's go esports, CSGO. Well, not live. Let's switch this one. So esports, CSGO, IEM Rio. So this obviously 2 games only because there is 2 quarterfinals. Now, big against Vitality, you can triple your money with this, but that's a very valid bet for me. I don't think that there's a lot of value if you want to put like 1/3 of a unit or 1/2 of a unit. That's also good, but big winning a map against Vitality offers 1.7, which is something that I will 100% take myself. And I do believe that that's going to come in pretty easy, in my opinion, because if Big goes for something like... Well, actually, Big can go for different maps except Nuke. So I do think they have a decent chance in getting at least a map here. And I probably think they're going to win the whole series. Now, Furia against Heroic, it offers 253 on Furia. Now, they're going to certainly win a map. Let's see what offers there. That's 157 for them to win a map. So I think you can definitely safely take this if you want to be more conservative. Big to win a map, Furia to win a map. That offers you a total of 2.7 if you go with an accumulator bet. And I do think I might go for something like that in some sort of like an akka or something that I will try. But definitely I will go for big victory here. And I will probably go with Furia as well. I'm just going to wait a little bit more before the game starts and I see the actual vetoes and how it goes in. So I do believe this concludes this like little short Pickems video, like about the Rio playoffs and like predictions and like expectations from different teams. I hope you guys enjoyed the the content, and make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to do it. It means a lot to me. And if you have any of your own opinions about predictions and picks for this bracket in Rio, make sure you leave a comment down there, and I'll check it out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.